Hi, it's John. Welcome along to another podcast episode. Today we shall be talking about sustainable pace. And by sustainable pace, I mean being sustainable in the pace of your lifestyle and being able to continue on the journey to the path of your dreams whilst not exhausting yourself and whilst having enough energy to keep going each day. I'll describe my daily routine. And this is a routine that I've been doing for many years, parts of it, and in the structure in terms of the timings, I've been doing it in the last 5 years. And so I wake up at 5 a.m. and my first thing I do is I brush my teeth and then I shave, and then I put on my running stuff and I go for a morning run. And I really like it at that time because I'm definitely a morning person. I really love getting up before the rest of the world wakes up. It's when 5 a.m. is when so much of nature is still around. You know, I see deer and foxes and badgers and rabbits, and it's all really beautiful. And so I really enjoy that, and I find it quite a meditation when I run. I feel very relaxed and focused and just in the moment. And after I finish my run, so I run about 4.5 miles, I then come back home and I do some yoga. I do that for about 10-15 minutes, and then I meditate for about 10 minutes. And then once, during my meditation, I ask my spirit guides for a message for the highest good, and I take that message, I speak it out loud, and I turn it into a meditation and into a song. And so what I do after my meditation is I do some gym, and that's like, it's more my upper body, doing like some pull-ups and some weights. I do that for about 15 minutes, and then I go and get showered, and then I have my breakfast, and then I go outside and I record my daily meditation message, the "Hi, it's John" message, and then I create my song. So all of this I complete by about somewhere between about 7:30 and 8 a.m. I'll edit the video that I've created, and for days that I'm not working my part-time job, I will then go on and do whatever. I might spend a little bit longer. I might then take the dog, our dog Patch, out for a walk, as I'm doing just now. Or if I have my part-time job, I'll usually start work somewhere between 8:30 and 9 a.m. And how do I reflect on this daily practice? Well, I don't sleep a huge amount. I seem to need, especially since, I think in part as I've got older, and in part since I gave up alcohol a few years ago, I just don't need the same amount of sleep that I used to. And so I usually go to sleep somewhere around between 10 and 11 p.m. So I'm getting like 6 to 7 hours, which isn't a huge amount. But I feel like it's enough, and sometimes more than enough. And then I go about my daily job, whatever my job is that day. And I do a lot of my life. I do, as well as working 3 days a week in a corporate company, I also do meditations and healing sessions for people. I've been creating an online training course, and I love going camping. With my wife, my family, father of two, our kids are currently 13 and 17 years old. We go camping at weekends, or we'll leave the kids there at home for a night with the eldest looking after them. So yeah, it's really beautiful. And there's just a deer right in front of us just now in the path. It's really beautiful. It's just run off. Can hear me talking away. So yeah, my days are really busy, and I need a lot of focus in my life, because I feel incredibly driven. I feel this superpower of me is like this energy, this tenacity, that I have this desire to keep pushing every day, to keep creating, and that drive that I have on my mission to raise the vibrations of billions of hearts, for the vast majority of the time works for me. I feel it. I feel excited. Like, I would say something around about the 99% of the time, I feel excited each morning. I wake up and I create a song. And don't get me wrong, there are some days that I don't super feel like it initially. This morning was one of those days when I woke up. We've been in a holiday and vacation cottage in the southeast of England, and it's been really hot for me anyway. So it's been hot at night, and I've struggled to have like deep sleeps. So I've woken up each morning feeling pretty exhausted. And this morning I was like, oh, do I really have to go for a run? And so I was like listening to my body, and this is something that you can try yourself, is just have a conversation with your body. Like, ask your body. I tend to speak out loud or in thoughts, like ask the question, is it good for me to run at this time? Will I feel better, or do I need the rest? And my body was like, well, what else do you want me to do today? Like, what are all the things? And it will be quite an active day. After running, I'll be doing swimming with the kids. It won't be that long. It'll be about half an hour swim, and most of it's fun, so it's not like high energy, or it's more fun. And then I'll do I'm going kayaking in the afternoon with my family, so that'll be fun. And so after I really explain this to my body, I asked my body, well, what am I doing today? And I gave this answer. It felt good, because I was able to say, look, I think I can have like a balanced approach to today. I can do my run, that's fine. When I come back, I'm going to skip my my floor work. I'll be doing some yoga, because as long as I do the stretches part, I don't really need to like exercise my upper body. I'm going to do that with like swimming and kayaking, so like there's no need to overdo it. And I am meant to be on holiday. And I think many people would just take a week off running, and that's also something I can do. And I do sometimes take a break. There's days like I only run Monday to Friday. I don't run Saturday to Sunday. And if I was serious with training for something, maybe I'd be up to about 6 days a week, and 6 days in a rest day. So that was one way of being a bit more sustainable. The next way is it's not uncommon for me to feel a bit tired by about 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m. And this morning I felt tired. I was like, my body was, after doing the running, and I went out and did a song in the woods, and I played the flute, which was really beautiful, just a really magical experience. I came back to edit the video in the holiday cottage, and my body was like, I think I'm ready for I'm ready for a sleep now. And so I did, and it actually took me a little while. Like, I had to find a position. There's a massive sofa where I could just like lie down. So I lay down on that, and initially like my body was like, no, I don't want to sleep, it's morning. And so I just went on my phone a little bit, and I listened to, purposely chose a couple of things, not scrolling, just like listening to someone talking. And very quickly, I was lying on my side, and very quickly I fell asleep, and I slept for about 20 minutes, and it just felt really good. It felt really energizing afterwards. So that napping is a great friend of mine, and napping helps me a lot as well, because a lot of my superpowers are being able to have structure and routine and repeating the same routine constantly, no matter what. And my challenges are more about flexibility. And it's quite funny because what I love at the moment is, getting up every morning. That's how I got broke a world record for the most albums digitally released at 110 albums, and just released my 129th album, is because every morning I'd wake up and I'd just keep going. No matter how I was feeling, I would, go through my daily routine and then get to a place where I felt good. Like I felt, I always feel amazing when I'm meditating, no matter where it is. And I found that really, liberating and empowering in my life at this time, because I can, not be having a great day, not be having a, fantastic time that week, but go through meditation, and through that moments like that passionate creativity, when I create the music, I'm in the moment, I'm in my passion, I'm living my dream at that time. And so I feel that there's at least that hour to hour and a half each day that I'm living my dream. And over time, I feel like that hour and a half has become longer and longer each day. Like, a number of hours of me living my dream each week now is, certainly number of waking days is at least 4. And I feel like that's fabulous. That's amazing progression in the last 5 years, from when it was maybe just, an hour a week. I think in 2017, I would start out doing a song in about an hour or two, and I'd do it just once a week. So that feels like great progression. The other sustainability I feel is, listening to your body is so important. There's lots of techniques that I've learned, things like drinking enough water. Like, I just always have water around me all the time, and when I pick up a glass of water, I bring in the source energy from the highest dimension of source above. I bring in this source of love into my heart, and then I blast it into the water, and I set the intention for this water to be clear and to be full of love and to energize me when I drink it. And then when I drink the water, as I'm drinking, I ask my body, I say, how many gulps should I have? Like, how many do I need? And I'll get like it's funny, even when I'm really, really thirsty, the answer I get from my body is something like 5, 7, or 10 if I haven't drunk for some time. And I feel like it's to do with the amount of water that my body can absorb in that time. And so I might get an answer of, if it's 10, I would then be checking in and say, okay, that's probably just the maximum amount I could take right now. I'm going to come back and ask the same question later. So definitely building that relationship with your body is so important. And we demand so much from our bodies, and our bodies are just so magical, so incredible. And so much of our sustainability is about our energy. The other aspect of energy for me is my energy healing work. And when I first started out doing the sessions, I could only do about 1 a week, and that's about an hour session a week. And it would take me around 3 to 4 days to recover from a 1 hour session. And I understand now that it was because when I was doing energy healing for people, I was using so much of my own energy. I was depleting my reserves, and my energy is like, although I am, a very energized person, it is like just the tip of the iceberg compared to the energy of the source of this universe. And so now, what I've been practicing whenever I do sessions is I don't use my own energy. I might use a little bit, but I bring down the source energy every time. Every time I'm sending love or healing energy to someone, I always bring it down from source above and I bring it up from Mother Gaia below, and I send that out through my heart. And that I find incredible. I've also tried that technique a few times when I'm doing things like working out. And it does have some effect, at very least a psychological effect, that you feel like you're tapping into this infinite source of the universe, which is really beautiful. And I also find really fascinating, if I energetically like an energy healing work, if I do too much, the way it feels is very unique. Like the kind of exhaustion or the drained feeling from that, it's very unique. And I would describe it as being very, like, quite dizzy. I feel quite, almost like travel sick, like you've been driving in the car for hours and hours, or when you get a bit older like me and you're on a roller coaster or a few roller coasters, you get that kind of dizzy feeling. And so I found that that was like a warning sign for me. It's like, oh, I understand it now to be like to not be grounded. Like the more I work in the astral and spirit realms and the higher dimensions, the less grounded I am into Mother Earth. And so there's a simple solution for that, which is to ground. So take my socks off and place my feet on the grass and set the intention to send energy down from the center of my heart, down through my feet, down deep into the core of Mother Earth, and to release what no longer serves me. And Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, she will transmute this energy. This energy will become this food for the other plants and living things to feed on. That helps me massively. And also taking a break, like there is no substitute for taking a break. And the other practice I have is like seeking the patterns that work best for me. I did previously have healing sessions in the evenings after my part-time job, and if I've worked like 11, 12 hours in a corporate job and then go off and do energy healing, like all that in one day is lightly too much. And what I love about the energy healing work is I can schedule it in patterns that work better for me. And so at the moment I do, like UK time, I do Sunday nights and Monday nights, and they tend to be, they're almost always free because I'm back from camping, and I'm also in a really good space because I've been more rested, and I also just have time. I feel like I have that time and space. So finding that pattern that works for me is fantastic. I've also taken a 2-week break off, and that's been fantastic. I'm just blocking out the time in my calendar so people can't book those sessions then. And I'm still just keeping connected. I've done a couple of like short recorded sessions for people that I do on a monthly basis for them, and that's been, I feel the right balance. I also recommend having a vacation, having a holiday. It's been February's the last time I took time off, and it's just been fantastic to come away now in July and really enjoy the first week of 2 weeks with my family. And as I walk through this beautiful forest that we've been staying at for the week, it's truly stunning. It was such a healing, safe, calm and loving place, and it's helped me reconnect with and ground, connecting with the trees and the wildlife, recording songs here. I really love that. And I also wanted to touch on lack. So I had some great advice from a dear friend, Nella Mahat, which was to not create out of fear. Don't create out of lack. It is an amazing way to exhaust yourself. And I feel that when I create each morning, when I create songs, I set a very clear intention to create from this infinite love, abundance that I have and that I'm connected to. And for me, that feels magical. Like, yes, it sometimes it's tiring, sometimes it's harder than others. But I always feel, I feel rich. I feel rich with the thousands and thousands of songs that I will create in the future. And sometimes, you know, I hear them echo from the future and into the present, just like I listen to the music from the past. And I know that this is a beautiful part of my future that I just continue on the journey of. And so when I create with intention, and I also just balance one challenge I've faced this week is, you know, creating too much. Like, I've done a lot of work when I've been sitting in the evenings sometimes for hours, like watching. My wife and I watch YouTube a lot, and we're almost always watching people who either live in a van and go touring around the world, or they do it part-time. And this van life, we have a camper van ourselves. We've had a caravan, like an RV or a motorhome, for about the last 4 years now. Just before we got our first motorhome, just before the first lockdowns in the UK, and it's just such an incredible adventure. We just absolutely love it, and it's an amazing way of connecting with nature, getting up in the morning in places even sometimes they're quite close by, but we live in such a beautiful space in East Lothian in Scotland. It's, you know, getting up and walking the dog, or going for a run, or swim in the sea, or recording a song in the forest and the fields. It's just a magical life that we really, really love. And I feel that being able to create sustainably, the thing that's I find most rewarding is being flexible, like listening to my body, listening to the days that I need time off, and then also like testing myself. Like I was saying, like this week's been a bit of a test for having, not filling all my spare time with just creating more, including this. Like, I'm out walking the dog, and it's funny, I feel very connected to the present moment when I'm doing a podcast like this. There's a butterfly just arrived in front of me as I'm talking, and yeah, I feel really close to the nature around me because I'm in the stream of consciousness. And so I also feel the different types of creation and productivity are also one way of thinking about the kind of stresses and strains that puts on our human forms. I know for instance that one song a day is more than enough, and it's good for me to take breaks sometimes. Often when I travel, I take a day off and I will have stored up an extra song and created that in a day that had plenty of time and plenty of energy. As we speak, I have one spare song. And I also know that things like podcasts like this, they just I feel like I'm taking you with me, and I feel energized by doing it. And the actual editing afterwards is really quick. I just pretty much just take the raw file and upload it. And I also find that just asking the question, like, why am I doing this today? Is it serving my highest good? Is there anything else I should be doing? Should I be doing it at this time? I find that really, really helpful. So yeah, listen to your body. Listen to the intention behind what you're doing each day. Take naps, drink plenty of water, just take care of yourself, listen to yourself, and finally talk to others about how you're feeling. Others, your loved ones, your family, your friends, they see the patterns in you. They see what's rigid within you and what's flexible. and often they'll challenge you, and listen to them, listen to their advice, and decide if you want to take action or what action you'd like to take. And sometimes it's quite unexpected, and sometimes physical things can be fun too. Like I bought a skateboard, and that is just the most fun I've had walking the dog in 30 years since I last went on the skateboard. So yeah, I hope this finds you well, and I am sending my love from England. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I'm just going to go and patch the dog who's disappeared. Thank you, love you.